We are not, the president said, merely tinkering around the edges of the problem. We're meeting it head on. My response, no, you're not. You are tinkering. Just what you say you aren't doing is what you are doing, and that has become a bad habit of our leading politicians, as you've probably noticed. To not tinker around the edges would be to make basic structural changes. For example, Mr. Biden refers to FDR. Yes, FDR back in the 30s did make structural changes. They weren't enough. They didn't solve our problems, because that's why we're in the soup now. But compared to what Mr. Biden is doing, they are indeed dramatic. Let's remember, created a social security system we never had before, an unemployment compensation system we never had before, a minimum wage in this country we never had before, and a federal jobs program that put 15 million unemployed people to work, giving them a decent income. Mr. Biden isn't doing anything like that. Social Security is no longer support for people of the sort it was imagined and hoped it would be. So far, he's failed to get anywhere on the minimum wage. And he doesn't even discuss a federal jobs program. And moreover, Roosevelt not only did that, he made corporations and the rich pay for it with a dramatic increase in rates of taxation on them. In contrast, Mr. Biden proposes only to raise the corporate tax rate halfway up to what Mr. Trump reduced. Trump dropped it from 35 to 21%. Mr. Biden proposes to bring it back only to 28%, thereby leaving the business class with half of what Trump gave them, not even challenged by the Democratic Party. What would you have to do, Mr. Biden, if you really wanted to deal with these issues? Well, here's what we would do. First of all, a la FDR, create a federal jobs program. Give the 20 million Americans right now that are officially unemployed, with another 5 to 10 million that have left the labor force. So we're talking 25 to 30 million people. Give them a job, Mr. Biden. You're silent on that. What could they do? Put them to work, helping to vaccinate, helping to test, helping to really manage this disease far better than Mr. Trump ever did, and far better than you have so far been able to do. Here's another one. Do something for the climate that is so urgent, you say, in your mind. Millions of people committed to climate control, offsetting the damage of environmental degradation. There would be a dramatic job for people, plus a serious attack on the climate problems we have. Provide daycare for the millions of people who cannot work unless they get it. Provide real programs for the elderly, becoming a larger part of our society. These would be structural changes, and make them permanent, the way Mr. FDR's was able to do. Okay, and how would you pay for it? Come on, Mr. Biden, you kind of know. Raise the corporate tax. And if you're worried about impacting small business, make it a progressive corporate tax, like we have a progressive personal income tax. If you're a little business, you pay a little. If you're a middle-level business, you pay a middle level. And if you're Mr. Bezos at Amazon, well, then you pay the high rate. Raise the rates. Raise them back to what they were in the 60s and 70s, not even beyond that. And that would raise the kind of money that would fund a serious structural program to update our infrastructure. None of that is being done. None of that is even being proposed. What you have is tinkering around the edges.